Terrifying situation, obviously, for so many people. And for one Sevier County volunteer firefighter, he was convinced he would not make it out of the inferno alive.
Yeah, tonight he's sharing his incredible story of survival with 6 on Your Side's Elizabeth Kubel, who joins us now live from Sevier County. Elizabeth.
Yeah, Bo, Jim says there were two things that saved his life. One is this special device. It's called a thermal imaging camera. And the second, he says, the grace of God. Terrifying video Jim Carr was able to record on top of Hatcher Mountain. In this moment, he knew he was in trouble.
I can't even describe the blinding smoke, the burning eyes, and not being able to breathe. None of us had structural turnout gear on to protect us from heat. We're wearing plain clothes.
Jim and 5 other firefighters from different agencies were responding to the Wares Valley wildfire. He was sent to supply water, but the flames they found grew so quickly and intensely.
I got inside the truck and gave a mayday to command to let them know we were trapped and in trouble.
As he made that call, this is the picture he took of what he could see from his truck. Jim says he thought he would die fighting this fire.
Laid over in the floorboard of the seat, made my final video to my wife and kids and family. And was getting ready to leave the truck to see how far I could make it before I died. I knew I was dead. I just didn't know where I was going to die.
But it was a reminder from his assistant chief about a special firefighting tool that led him to safety. Jim used his thermal imaging camera to escape.
I seen a dark spot, which looked like a road. Dark spot on a thermal imaging camera usually means colder areas. The closer I could get, I realized it was a bulldozer road.
Today he's back at the volunteer department.
We have the end of a pike pole.
Combing through the few items he was able to salvage from his tanker, wondering when the nightmare he lived through will start to feel real.
One day I'll come out of shock, and even last night I looked at my wife and I said, this really just happened. Because it's always seemed like just a blur in a dream.
And so remarkably tonight, Jim is physically okay. He tells me that he's got a couple ember burns on his arms. He also had to get a new haircut because some of his hair was singed off. But the overwhelming feeling he has tonight is that he is blessed. Guys.
Elizabeth, thank you so much. He really took us there.
Yeah, he really did. You look at some of that video, especially when he's looking out of his truck and he can't see anything. Yeah.
And Jim shared this message that I thought was so powerful, and we want to share it with you now, that none of the other firefighters left him on that mountain.
Yeah, that's right. You know, many firefighters and other first responders risked their lives just like Carr did.
Chief Stephen Whaley with the Sevier County Fire Department says firefighters like Carr, the volunteer fire department, started heading straight toward the flames. That's why they had plain clothes on. That's what they do. They were trying to get ahead of them to cut them off, but the fire spread so very quickly.
Once the guys got up here, they hadn't been up here long enough to even get really good and turned around to try and come back off before the fire overwhelmed them. And they had to, like I said, they had to take off the other side of the hill over here to get away from it on foot. And they had to make the decision based on their training to get out. And, you know, they were most all of them, I believe, were seasoned veterans that had at least 5 years or more in the fire service. So they knew they had to get out, and they knew they weren't going to be able to do it with the trucks.
Chief Whaley says it is really going to be a challenge to replace the fire engines because of the rising cost right now.